Wayne to throw first. Game on.
Almost an unscriptable turn of events when Painter came close to once again going to a sudden death shootout like that famous 2004 final here. So we know what to expect from Kevin. He averaged 85, had 4 180s. He was up and down in that match, but when he got the bit between his teeth, he was very good. What should we expect from Wayne Warren?
I think from Wayne, we've got someone who has obviously got talent, but as far as regular tournament play, like a lot of the people coming into this second round, I'd say that it's kind of unknown. That maybe makes Kevin Painter a marginal favourite for me, because he's been playing regularly over the last few months, and we're going to find out what Wayne's got in the tank over the next few sets.
60.
Same format as the earlier stage, first to 3 sets, first to 3 legs in each of those sets. Myself, Chris Murphy, Paul Nicholson,
41.
Talking you through this one. Mark Webster also with us, and Dennis Priestley will be in comms later on tonight. He's been on the stage
60.
ahead of this match, the legendary Dennis Priestley, who won at the Circus Tavern.
First winner, of course, back in 1994.
So that 140 from Kevin Painter's left him on 160.
140. Kevin McCall, 160.
Let's find out if he can hit it. 2 treble 20s and tops, of course. What a mark that is for another. He'll be devastated he didn't get it, but he does with dart 3.
Wayne McCall, 96.
It's 96 for Wayne Warren, though. He won't like that single 1, which leaves treble 19 for double, and Painter's going to come back for double 10 to take the first leg.
40. Kevin McCall, 20.
Double 10 then.
Game shot on the first leg.
Well, in it goes. Kevin Painter.
Second leg is Kevin to throw
start.
first. Game on.
I was seeing early here, I know it's only 1 leg, but genuine sharpness, not just with the arm, but with the mind for Kevin. You mentioned that battle with O'Shea yesterday.
95.
The only question mark for me over Kevin tonight is he feeling tired? He hasn't been involved in a match like that for a long time.
100.
I'd be really interested to hear from him as to how he felt first thing this morning.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Probably George made the point about Phil Taylor, that he thinks he'll be rusty early on, and then the more he plays, the better he'll get. That could be the case for a few of the players. So having had that match on stage last night could have actually done Kevin the world of good.
81.
I think the way that Kevin performed in the Live League last year, he was a tiny bit rusty at the start, but when he got the bit between his teeth and he got a few games under his belt, he looked really useful. And he played, as we look at John Lowe and Roland Shulton catching up there. But I think when they get a few legs under their belt, a bit of rhythm, and they get used to the temperature up on that stage, they'll really find out what they can do.
Yeah, John Lowe, the 3-time world champion who we just saw, will be in action here tomorrow evening. Has been around this afternoon, I think, doing a few book signings, Paul.
Yes, he has. He never won a world title here, though. Won in 1979.
100.
Won at Lakeside.
Kevin McCall, 100.
In 1987. 93 at Lakeside. Oh, Painter. What a dream first start for a 100 checkout. And he's looking very sharp indeed. Sharp as a razor, Kev. 2-0 up in the first set.
Game on.
A dream start for the artist. And Wayne Warren is going to have to get that smooth, relaxed throw of his going. A little sign there that he might be about to do that.
I know that Kevin Painter is a big fan of Gavin and Stacey, and this is almost like the Gavin and Stacey game of darts. Someone who is from Essex.
100.
Someone who's from South Wales.
He's literally from Billericay, isn't he, Kevin Painter?
That's correct.
And he got, I think, the biggest cheer when the MC Paul Starr, before we came on air, introduced all the players to the crowd. Speaking of which, there is the MC Paul Starr with his head on upside down.
You're sacked. Not Paul, you're fine. You can do the rest of the night, but 45. One of your fans has got the mask on wrong.
Yeah, Painter even got a louder cheer than that of Richie Howson, the man who lives 2 miles down the road, and sent the crowd home happy, although he was related to half of them.
140.
I think it shouldn't be forgotten that Essex has always had a huge presence in the game. You talk about their county team from, say, 20 years ago, it was littered with stars.
Well, Warren hasn't had much of a presence in this game, but he might be about to get a foothold. A hat-trick of 3-figure visits in this leg. That
60.
comes to an end with a return needing 81, with Kevin Painter stranded a long way behind.
Yeah, a bit of a freebie here for Kevin. Doesn't get to a finish.
When you car 81.
Get his mind and his arm ready for the next leg, because you would fancy that Wayne's going to take this.
56.
Well, I'm surprised he went for the bullseye there, Murph.
116.
I think we just had a slight scoreboard error. Kevin is on a finish. 116 can still be done. Now he wants the ball. It was a long way off. Did he go for the bullseye then, Paul?
I'm questioning it.
I think he's just correcting something.
79. When you car 25.
Okay, it's 25 for Wayne Warren. That's a 9. Is he still in the set? Let's find out on double 4.
21.
Well, Kevin Painter can close out set 1 right here.
I was not far away.
37. Hit a single 13 on his effort for the bullseye. There's the 5. It's a lot safer than one of the single ones he hit last night, which almost bust the score. Double 16.
5.
He will not be happy with those efforts at double 16. He loves it in that corner of the board.
To stay in the set. To stay in the set.
2. Kevin Newcar 32.
Some encouragement offered by the Essex crowd to the Essex man Kevin Painter.
Green bit down in the southwest corner. Almost. 2 wired shots and 1 hit for the first set by 3 legs to 0. It wasn't a classic set, but he was firmly the best player in that premier set of tonight's player.
Game on.
It really is a perfect start, but let's not forget that last night Kevin Painter was 2 sets to the good. He went 2-1 up in the third set as well, but Tony O'Shea
100.
forced him into overtime with a 12 and 15 darter to turn around that set. And it went the distance into a tie-break. Painter came out on top in the end, an emotional victory for the artist.
140.
There were a couple of artists in the crowd.
They're going to need a few more colours on that palette there. If you look at Kevin's shirt.
100.
He's certainly mixing it with the best of the seniors players here at the Circus Tavern, and he's strutting his stuff tonight, Kevin Painter. The confidence
95.
garnering win that he got against Tony O'Shea, and he really does look comfortable.
I think he's prepared well for this challenge, and some of my contacts have told me that his practice leading up to this was very similar to what he would have done if he was playing at Alexandra Palace at the end of December. So he's treating this very seriously, like all of these players are. You can tell in their eyes that they really want it.
137. Kevin Newcar 81.
So treble 19 for Kevin Painter. And now double 12. And double 6.
Game
No
show
problem.
the first.
Kevin Painter's march carries on.
Like he's waiting to throw fast. Game on.
Kevin will know that even if he takes this set and a 2-0 lead, that he's not safe, because he's the one that let O'Shea in last night. So maybe that's his motivation when he comes into this position. He's got the hot start. He's got to keep his foot down on that pedal.
Well, it is 4 straight legs for Kevin Painter.
140.
Fabulous start, as Paul Nicholson called it, hot. He certainly is.
Well, Wayne Warren, who has won
60.
the BDO World Championship, of course, at the O2 in early 2020, beating Jim Williams there in an all-Welsh final.
41.
Played in 6 World Championships in his career. And he has 4 other ranking title wins in the BDO system.
100.
Is that a fair reflection on his career? I would say because of the way he's approached the game over the course of the last 20 to 25 years, it probably is, but he's been a much better player over the last 10 years than he has in the previous 15.
Yeah, he's a roofer away from
100.
darts, Wayne Warren. Darts more approached as a hobby most of the time than a full-time job. Even though Kevin Painter's actually retired from the professional circuit, he still does regard darts as his main job.
100.
And that's why he's very good at it. A master of his craft.
160.
419s for tops is the option, but he went for 420s for double 18.
Kevin, you require
Now Kevin
80.
Painter, are we looking at 2-0 in the second set?
Needs to stay away from that. Just shuffling across a little, right hand side,
He's
gets it
on
dead
the second
centre.
leg.
Kevin
Kevin
Painter, well, the
Painter.
peacockery, just stuck his arm out, didn't he? Almost akin
Third
to
leg,
that
it's Kevin to
iconic
throw
point
first.
from Bob Anderson the other
Game
night,
on.
last night.
Not quite Bob Anderson, but a bit more Darius Labanauskas.
Nobody can be Bob Anderson, but what a moment that was. By the way, if you are just joining us for today at the World Seniors Darts Championship, we did see
100.
4 matches this afternoon. John Boy Walton beating Les Wallace. Dave Prinz getting past Paul Lim to set up a tie with John Lowe, who we saw earlier. And then we did see Larry Butler brush Alan Ford a
81.
little, who was struggling with a shoulder injury. Before Terry Jenkins, he looked in good shape against Roland Sholton, didn't he?
He looked very good. And that 85 average was pretty
100.
fair, considering how many doubles he missed. But the fact of the matter is, there he is, the man we call TJ, the Bull, Terry Jenkins, having his feet up, watching the darts
140.
tonight. But he's got a job to do tomorrow.
Can't stay away.
He's got Lisa Ashton tomorrow. That's a difficult game.
Difficult game so far for Wayne Warren here. Kevin Painter in excellent
140.
form here. Superb stuff so far.
Yeah, Wayne just hasn't found that first star.
100.
He's been searching
Kevin, you
for
require
scores.
161.
Terry can't get enough of it.
Ever the entertainer. Kevin Painter's walk on, I predict to right, it was preluded by the greatest showman.
130.
Painter looking to put on a show this evening. And so far, the Essex crowd will be very, very happy with what their boy has done.
He's playing like he's got a bus to catch.
55. Kevin, you require 31.
He's had a very successful career. He doesn't need to take the bus. What he's looking for here is probably 15 for double 8, Murph. 15's good, and he'll take that step back. Double 8 for the set.
In
Game
it
shot in the
goes.
second set.
Kevin Painter showing killer instinct here at the World Seniors Darts Championship. Doesn't want the drama that he had last night. He won the first 2 sets then, but Tony O'Shea got it back to deadlock and forced a tie break. Kevin Painter has won the first 2 sets again. He leads Wayne Warren by 2 sets to 0.
Well, Kevin Painter won the first.
At the point of no return, really. What can you say to yourself? What can you do in that short time?
Sometimes you just need a timeout to stop the whirring of your brain. When you get on that stage, particularly when you're playing a fast player, you're just within a certain rhythm, and you have to physically stop yourself from thinking too fast and constantly making the same mistakes.
59.
I've just seen Kevin backstage, and he was taking big, deep breaths. Probably thinking, don't do what you did yesterday.
60.
Don't take your foot off the pedal. You can get this done in 10 minutes. And I think because of the experience that he's had in his career, and of course the experience of last night, I think he looks more focused now than he has at any point in this tournament.
They averaged 94 in those first couple of sets, Kevin Painter. Only Robert Thornton
85.
and Dave Prince so far have averaged more than 90. So he's throwing his hat into the ring, isn't he, as a contender here at the Circus Tavern.
Splendid darts,
140.
and eloquently said from Bobby George about the 140s from Kevin. He has been very good in the scoring department, leaving 177 here after 9.
36. Kevin
And
Urukai,
Wayne, who is
167.
usually a very heavy scorer, just can't live with Kevin's pace.
$59.
Painter leaving 108 by virtue of that 59.
100. Kevin Urukai, 108.
He usually does like double 16. That's why he's going south here. 419s will leave that double. And with 89 left, he doesn't want to leave himself on a silly double here. He wants to go for the treble 19. Almost finds it as well. That's 38, which leaves 70.
56.
So 52
When
remain.
you find 95.
But 95, is it 25 first?
Could be treble 19 for double. Well, now he's going treble 20, double 8, and he's ended up
No score.
busting the whole lot.
Kevin Urukai, 52.
Nothing is going right for Wayne Warren. But as far as Kevin Painter's concerned, he's decided to go for plan B, which is tops.
Game shot on the first leg.
And plan B's
Kevin
working just
Painter.
as well as plan A.
Second leg is Kevin.
7 straight.
First.
He's
Game
looking
on.
ruthless.
A magnificent 7 from Kevin Painter. Wayne Warren, like a rabbit in the headlights, had his opportunity there by getting that treble 20, but it was a miss by a massive margin. Hitting the big 16, going for the double 8.
I remember about 20 years ago, you know,
40.
when Kevin Painter was playing for England. And of course, Wayne Warren has many, many times played for Wales. Kevin was in a match with a Welshman called Kelvin
70.
Painter. So I'm sure that was a nightmare for the referee. Usually when you get two players who share the same first name, you've got to say the full name, but easy to get confused
85.
between Kevin and Kelvin Painter. But they're from different countries, different places, and there's Jane. I'm sure she is not as nervous now as she was maybe 30 minutes ago, looking at the scoreline.
140.
Partner of Kevin Painter, of course.
Total walk in the park for
Kevin
Painter so
Urukai,
far.
151.
That's for sure. It could be the second time today we've seen a player win every single leg. Larry Butler doing that against Alan Warren a little to set up a
57.
tie with Keith Deller, which he expects to win. He said after that match to Helen on stage, if Keith can keep up with that, fair play to him.
I think it's a very fair assumption
80.
because that was a great
Kevin
performance from
Urukai,
Larry.
94.
94 for Kevin. Plenty of options. 3 off, leaves 91. He's going for all the small trebles. You're getting there, Kevin, you're getting there.
$37.
I'm not quite there in the end for Kevin Painter, but again, it doesn't matter. Warren
60.
languishing back
Kevin Urukai,
above
57.
200.
Kevin takes this. He's 1 leg away. Tops. Hit it last time he went here, and he's done it once
Game shot on
again.
the second
This
leg.
is a really
Kevin
good finishing
Painter.
performance from
Third
Kevin
leg
Painter,
wins with
and he is 1
Game
leg away
on.
from blowing the roof off this place in his home county. And I suppose if the roof does come off, the one person we want to call is Wayne Warren, because he's a roofer.
Will have come in some use this weekend.
100.
I don't want to see Wayne Warren come all the way to Essex and not get a leg.
It's a very real prospect as Painter throws for the match.
140.
Would be a brilliant message-sending win. And let's not forget that the winner of this match will take on the winner of the main event of the evening, Phil Taylor against Peter Manley.
140.
There's narrative whoever he would play, providing he does get one more leg here, or indeed winning by another margin, because if
100.
he plays Taylor, we'll all talk about 2004. But if he plays Manley, he's going to play godfather to his daughter, which is what Peter Manley is.
It's tantalising the taste buds, isn't it, that Taylor Manley clash in a couple of games' time. Before that, though, we're going to see the Owl Richie Howson try and conquer Wolfie Martin Adams, 3-time world champion.
45.
What is it you said last night? There's always only one winner between a wolf and an owl. It depends on what kind of owl it is.
81.
Wolfie howls, won't they? They were all howling for the owl last night, but Martin Adams gets greeted with those high-pitched howls from the crowds wherever he goes. Remember that the Grand Slam, when people weren't sure they'd see him in that tournament, he really got a great reception.
He really did, and I think that set the tone for his current popularity amongst all darts fans. Kevin Painter, one treble away from setting up a match-winning double. Only if Wayne Warren misses this 156 though.
Kevin, you require 40.
For a thumping victory here against the former world champion Wayne Warren. Double top he wants. And the artist brushes his opponent. Wayne Warren did not get a single leg in.